The following thoughts and opinions we're going to discuss regarding this album are strictly of our own personal interests. We are not professional music reviewers. We encourage respectful discussion and friendly banter in each episode, but we do not condone and will not tolerate bullying or belligerence. You are welcome to take what we say regarding the albums we rate with a grain of salt.
Well, hey there, everybody, and welcome to another episode of, you know what, never mind. It's, it's supposed to be episode 100, and it's fashionably late. It's Savannah, I guess, so we'll wait a minute, I guess. Sorry.
I'm here.
Is your image frozen?
I'm in your house.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
What the hell are you doing here? You weren't supposed to be here. Well, I mean, fine, hold on. But through the magic editing, whoosh, bigger screen, and I guess I'll cut here too, because now we actually have to do like a real setup. Oops. Well, boom. There. Now with the magic of time on my side and editing, we have an actual setup now.
It is so weird to see you
in the flesh.
It's so weird.
But I guess for the sake of the audio world, the video's already started. For the sake of the audio world, let's introduce this thing properly, shall we, like we know how to do. Well, hey there, friends, and welcome to another episode of the Rate the Record Podcast, episode 100.
Oh,
we did it.
Celebrate.
I was going to get like a streamers and poppers and party favors or whatever the hell. I didn't, because you now are in my actual physical space. You see how small it is and how much I would hate to clean that shit?
I do.
If it gets behind everything, I'm done.
I feel like if you bought one of those confetti poppers, you'd probably singe my face off with power or something.
Yeah, I'd just be like, surprise.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, audio listeners, I know you can't see the screen right now. Well, first off, watch YouTube. And second off, we're in the actual same space. Like, we are like 5 feet, nearly arm's length away from each other. For the first time since like February 2020.
Yep. We were in school together, and then COVID hit, and then I didn't go back to school, and then I've been a hermit recluse ever since.
And you've only been visible on Zoom. Have you seen this woman?
Yeah, right.
Just like blocky ass Zoom picture. Actually, I hope not, because our podcast would be nothing but blocky images at this point.
I'm like a Minecraft character.
Well, anyways, you're very much a live host for the day, are Kris and
Savannah.
Yeah, this is awfully strange. I'm usually looking over here to look at you, but now it's like I gotta like tilt over here, and mic placement is so different now, and everything like that.
And like you said when I showed up, oh man, I have to put pants on. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, this is usually a sans pants podcast because we don't see anything from like the upper chest down. But now it's like I can see your jeans and you can see mine, so we are wearing pants. But yeah, episode 100, we finally did it, the triple digit edition. I don't know what, I used to say stupid things like that, but I mean, this one's bigger because it's been a while to get here.
Yeah.
What should have taken just a little under 2 years took just over 2.5.
Yeah, we do take some breaks, and it's funny because recently I listened to a different podcast that I like. I'm not name dropping, we're not getting paid. And they were saying like, oh, we don't take any breaks. And they're doing it jestfully. They're like, we don't take any breaks. Any podcast who takes a break, oh, you're shit, and blah, blah, blah. And all I thought was, well, my mental health is better. So that helps.
And not only that, we aren't making money.
Yeah.
Like, we have jobs, we have relationships, we have lives.
Yeah.
And so, like, if this was a full-time job, that'd be a whole other thing. But, like, this is, like, we're just doing this because we like to do this. So, I mean, yeah, we're going to take breaks. We have shit to do.
Exactly. And if it takes us just over 2 years to get to 100 episodes, so be it. We're here now.
Yeah, we fought all the way here, and we actually made it to episode 100. So thank you very much for coming by and seeing us. I was going to say live, but it's live for us, not for you, so sorry. But this is still a new image, and look at the graphics on screen are different too. Moving marquee above the head. I'm getting really good with editing. I'm not. This is actually very easy to do. I'm recording this in like OBS.
This is fantastic. This is, if you haven't listened before, welcome. And if you have, you know that I don't listen or watch past shows. So seeing it on the screen, I'm like, oh, So that's what it looks like. How nice.
Well, it's
Good
funny
job.
because this is, I say live recording because I'm recording this OBS. Usually we just record Zoom and then I'll import the videos later into a video editor and stuff like that. But everything, because of the way we're doing it today, just fits better to do live like this. We don't need to use Zoom at all.
I like it.
But anyways, we're really gushing about the beginning of this podcast, but we should actually be getting into it. So one more time, thank you very much for hanging out with us today and being here. If you like what you see and or hear today, there's a bunch of ways that you could do that. Like, subscribe, rate, share, comment, follow. All 6 of those things. Oh, we're going to be able to do things in time with each other now, too.
I'm finally going to actually match my voice with yours when you say rate the record. So I'm excited.
It has to at this point. But yes, one of those things, if not all the things, help support the show. Algorithm, boost, boom, eyes and ears, prize, boom. All of that. And it's episode 100. We're trying to celebrate this, so I think it'd be tremendously super duper if you went ahead and did literally any of those things.
What he said, he covers it well. And if I don't say that, he'll punch me. Like, actually.
Yeah, and see, now that we're doing this live, you can see I'm not really reading off everything. I have a laptop in front of me because I'm going to read my notes, but like it's all point form here. I'm not. This is all static in my head.
And then that's it, just TV static.
Speaking of static in my head, I mean, I think they call that depression. I'm not certain, but hey, that's a whole other topic, right? Anyways, if you've been here before, you know that we can be pretty miserable music reviewing pricks around here, and that's fine. Shit happens. But we're not always like that, I promise. And if you're new here, I just said, I promise, we don't do that all the time. We do review music, though, because each week Savannah and I will choose an album. It can be completely random, whatever we want to listen to. Album anniversaries, album requests. We've had plenty of those through the season. It's been a lot of fun. But regardless, we do choose one. We will discuss the album at length from front to back. We rank the songs, and then we
rate the record!
Hey, look at that.
That was the first time in 100 episodes that I was certain that I got it right.
And I think that's the first time I ever heard you clapping afterwards because Zoom will always cut it off. None of the audio is actually going to be cut, like because it's being recorded directly to the computer rather than through Zoom. So
nobody actually hears how enthused I am.
When you do your woo, it's like woo, ooh.
Well, you know what? That's fine. That's fine. I caught it this time, so I'm excited.
Well, we can be enthusiastic about matching, apparently. I mean, that comes later, but like matching our sound at the very least.
Heck yes.
We have one more thing to be enthusiastic about today besides episode 100. It's the album we're doing. I'll just announce the album first. It's this little thing here, this big thing, I should say. It's Rush and their 1977 album, A Farewell to Kings. And to all you Rate the Record lore heads out there, which are 0 of you, none of you follow the lore, and that's fine, I understand. Basically, this was the one that was going to start us all the way in episode 1. This was going to be the very first episode.
And I don't know why it took until 100. I feel like at a certain point, it was like, you know what? 100's monumental. Let's put it there. But I think it took at least 50 for us to make that choice.
Well, either way, because like, it's funny because we the first Rush album we did was Roll the Bones, and so when I saw you put it on the list, I was like, "Oh, is that it? No, it's Roll the Bones."
Let's roll the bone.
And then we C-tiered it.
Oh man,
we love Rush around here, but yeah, this big flag I have behind me is the Farewell to Kings flag. Savannah's wearing her shirt. I'm wearing my Rate the Record shirt just because like I wanted to mark the occasion.
Rush beer.
Rush beer. I have my can over there. It's empty, but it's in its box, and I don't feel like moving it. But I have all 4 of them over there, so that's cool.
Heck yes.
And of course, I just showed you the record. A very old beat-up copy. This is my dad's copy from when he was a kid. I have his records in my collection, so there you go. I have the whole thing in Asmer, which you can hear this time because Zoom can't cut this out.
Yeah, suck it, Zoom.
Well, this is pretty exciting. Waited 100 episodes to do this, but we ended up doing Pearl Jam instead. But we like Pearl Jam. That's fine.
Yeah.
So, I guess, third time's a charm for Rush. Third time we've done them. First time we C-tiered them. The second time became one of the biggest albums on the show. One of them at this point. So, what more can you tell us about Rush? More importantly, their album Farewell to Kings.
So, like you said, we have done Rush 3 times already, so I do think it's okay to super summarize the band's beginning. Alex Lifeson and 2 other guys started Rush. The bassist dropped out before the first live show, and boom, Geddy Lee. John Rutsey played drums for Rush until health problems restricted band involvement, and eventually he left. Neil Peart auditioned and played his first show with the band within 1 year of auditioning. That's Rush. Now, we have covered 1991's Roll the Bones, And 1976 is 2112, but it's time for 1977's A Farewell to Kings. Released on September 7th, 1977, and recorded in Wales, which was the first time that they actually recorded outside of Toronto. A Farewell to Kings was produced by Rush and Terry Brown, a collaboration that shall last a while. This album was actually the first Rush album to heavily feature synthesizers, and to this day they can say they stopped, but they really have not stopped. They've just dwindled it down a little. 2 singles were released, Closer to the Heart and Cinderella Man, 2 solid choices. Classic Rock magazine rated the album a 4.5 out of 5. The Rolling Stone Album Guide gave it a shameful 2.5 out of 5. And you know what? I'm too upset at that to keep going. All Music, 4 out of 5, whatever. It doesn't matter. Screw them. The album hit number 11 in Canada and helped expand Rush's reach internationally. And speaking of, it actually hit number 33 on the Billboard Top 200. Sweet.
Well, that's good. I mean, I don't think the other albums we did made it that high on the chart.
I don't think so. No, Roll the Bones was kind of, by that point, I don't want to say that they were kind of niche, but like it was the early 90s, kind of niche when it comes to like the general public. And this one is really when they started to accelerate from coming off the steam that was 2112 a year earlier.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's neat. The single choices, didn't expect that. I thought, then again, Xanadu can't really be a single now, can it?
Unless you trim a lot. Yeah.
And I mean, like, some bands have done that, but I can only imagine how shit it would feel at that point. You get one verse, one chorus, like 2 minutes of jamming, that's it, song's over.
And that's it. Or they play it after midnight when nobody cares.
Oh, yeah. Or you listen to my classic rock show where I play entire album sides.
Fucking knew that was coming.
I played the entire A side of 2112, and I think I played, like, book 2 of Cygnus from Hemisphere, something like that.
And then you get a phone call. Play the other half. Play the other side.
No, we do the Andy Frost album side thing. That's what I do every once in a while. Then I did David Bowie too. But I'm getting way ahead of myself. I just wanted to say that so I could add another card in the YouTube slot up there. Yeah, we did David Bowie's Scary Monsters. We did that one a while ago. So there's the YouTube card. Enjoyed that episode. But enjoy this one first. Because now it's time to actually get starting to talk about it. It's going to be weird to read this off my laptop.
Yeah.
Hence why I'm wearing my glasses, which also have made their podcast debut today.
And don't look at my phone. All my notes are here and my secret nuclear codes.
This is a very different setup for us, but I think we have an album to review nonetheless. So song number 1, the title track itself, A Farewell to Kings.
You first. I always go first, and there's only 6 songs, so I'm sure I can snuff it for today.
That, and I think I have home field advantage.
Yes, you do.
You have literally come to enemy territory.
Yeah.
So now I can like destroy your musical opinions in person, but the problem is it's Rush, so I can't. I mean,
Perfect choice.
Roll the Bones was a terrible idea, but that's all as far as I can take it.
One of these days we're going to do Presto and you're going to go, oh my God, a late 80s album. I'll go, yeah,
Presto's
late 80s
not that
album.
bad.
Really?
It's not great, but it's better than Roll the Bones.
Because of the rapping in the title track, isn't it?
Probably.
Yeah. So go watch the episode. You'll see.
Way the hell back when. That's a season 1 callback.
Oh my God.
Anyways, yeah, Farewell to Kings. So first song, it's gonna be weird because I'm so used to like looking at the screen and then having it like right next to the camera, so it's like I'm looking into the camera while I say it. But yeah, this one was funny to me because the very first thing I think I thought of was just like, oh, we're getting that classic like D&D fucking nerd band intro. We made fun of the way they looked in the 2112 cover because they're all wearing those like white kind of like flashy spacesuits or whatever. Like I don't know how to describe it, but like this intro like really defined that.
Okay, now I know that I said that you should go first, but I do want to jump off that point.
Fine.
My first note, during the intro, I'd like to imagine Getty dressed in a jester costume, playing a lute, hopping from one foot to the other.
Fucking nerd.
Right.
Little gremlin man. With it, like he's got like this big piece of wood with like these 4 long strands of grass on them. That's his bass guitar. We're just making imagery here.
Yes.
Well, it works except for the part where it's Alex Lifeson who starts the song with classical guitar. But you do hear bugs and birds, so he's definitely frolicking through a field. I think in the video he's like in like a pond or something, or a forest or something like that.
I don't think I've seen the video.
It starts with some like nature imagery, and I think you see him playing the classical guitar in like a garden, and then it's like a one of those stage productions, but like no crowd.
Yeah.
Of just them playing the song. It's one of those really old videos that's not really a video.
Oh, I've never seen that. I do know that with the Birds that they were recorded outside the studio. I read that.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
I think they've done that a few times, and I mean, a few other bands have done that, like Nine Inch Nails did that as well. So, I mean, I'll always bring them up. There's another card above my head. Boom.
I love it.
Although, I'm on the wrong side of the screen, I think, for that to count. We're usually on the other opposite sides.
It's up there.
Yeah, there you go. It's
All
on your
of them.
side.
Even the past ones, they were up there.
But other than the quieter intro and everything like that, I mean, this song's like nearly 6 minutes, so you can expect a lot from Rush out of 6 minutes. Like, they don't usually mess around with time. It explodes right in after that, so I think that was pretty cool. It brings you back to that, like, that familiar sound and feel of Rush. So you get that, like, feeling of comfort almost immediately after that weird intro.
Mm-hmm. I do want to say, and this goes for pretty much any band of this ilk, where I will always be baffled when it comes to writing music. Like, how does this just come to you? Like, this song, like you said, almost 6 minutes. How do you write, like, this part, have it connect, have this make sense, have these intricate, like, bass lines, and I will never understand anything, like, more than do 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 do. It's like I don't get it, and the farther we get into the album, the more confused I get.
No, that makes sense too, because I mean, considering that, like, you know, someone like Geddy, for example, got a lot of like influence from like Yes and King Crimson and all that kind of stuff, and they were already doing it long before, and fucking Pink Floyd comes along and does some shit.
But like it's different, like playing something that someone else wrote, but being able to write it yourself. Baffling already, so I feel like I wrote my whole review in the state of awe.
Maybe none of them knew how to count properly in 4/4, and so they just tried to make their really awkward time signatures into a cool thing.
And now they live in mansions.
Yeah, that or some like house downtown Toronto or some shit like that. I don't really remember. I was watching some sort of documentary about like Alex and Geddy living with each other or some shit like that.
Dang.
Yeah, I'll get a couple more notes for this one too. There's one part that I really like. That's it's like this staccato like guitar and drum part. Towards it's like dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
But I love the bass behind it though, because and it actually does it quite a lot in this album where the bass kind of like takes the lead on the melody. Yeah. And so like if it was just like Geddy kind of doing that along with him, it might have felt a little like naked or plain. Whereas like this one actually dressed it up a little more, made it feel a little more fun. So catches your attention like almost immediately. I love that. And of course, like the jam in the middle is a lot of fun too. I mean, the bass is playing octaves for a little while. That's a lot of fun. You got Neil's flawless drum passages as per usual. Alex just kind of wailing on the guitar. It's all well put together. I mean, what else can I say about the song that's bad? I can't think of a bad thing to say.
So I don't have anything bad to say. I do like the production choice of panning the guitar. So you hear like the bells and the auxiliary things in the right side, and you hear the guitar. But I've complained before that when you put the instrument all the way to the left and you hear really nothing in the right, it's if you're only listening to one side, you kind of miss that. So having a little bit sort of intertwined is nice, and they did that here because the guitar pans from left to right as the bells go to the left.
Oh yeah.
But it's not fast. It's not fast, and it doesn't leave me feeling disoriented. It's just enough to make it feel like it's physically traveling, and I kind of like that. I really like the melody of the entire song. I always have. I don't think I'll ever remember what the song is called, but
it's the title track.
I know, but there are so many songs that I like that I'm like, what is this? Okay, I don't know if I've ever brought this up on the podcast before, but I think maybe 5 out of 7 live Rush shows that they've played Marathon from Power Windows, and I would lean over to my dad going, what's this song called? What's this song called? And then there was one show that he leaned over, he's like, it's Marathon. I'm like, I remembered this time, but he didn't believe me. But that
I wouldn't either.
Like I always hear it and I don't remember what it's called. I think Vital Signs is another one that I hear it. I'm like, I don't remember this one. But anywho, he said closer to the heart. That's some foreshadowing. That was just a stupid comment I wanted to say. And I do appreciate that the song bookended with the acoustic. Acoustic kind of felt tacked on at the end, but I do appreciate that they revisited it as it's going into track 2.
It did feel a little strange only because like it comes back in and it's strummed like the final thing here is like this minor chord.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, like the whole song has this like triumphant feel to it. So it's just like, oh, did our hero fail? Is this literally the farewell to King?
It's the to be continued ?
Oh no, the king is dead, I think. I don't know. There's not really there is and isn't a story to follow in this. It's not as thematic as like 2112 is, for example. Yeah. But I mean, Xanadu, we can jump into the next song. Xanadu number 2 is like a big triumphant story of just like, that paradise and everything like that. I don't know the full story behind it. I should probably know more about it, but
he does say paradise in the song, so
I think this one's really cool too. So this is an 11-minute track, by the way, like Xanadu. Yeah. It takes a while to build up into anything because you got these like really soft instrumentals, like droning synth and various pieces of like percussion. They really do a good job at like putting that idea of like some sort of like city paradise in your head.
Yeah.
So that's nice considering that's kind of what they're trying to portray here. And I think Xanadu was a real place, or at least a place of like mythology, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. I know that Olivia Newton-John had a song named Xanadu, so I'm assuming that it's something that they didn't make up.
Well, maybe.
But I've not looked it up at all.
She should have Xanadu, don't call it that, because Rush has the better song called Xanadu. That's my joke for the day.
Yeah.
See, it's going to be hard to pull off these puns in person now.
I was going to say, and she's dead now, so I mean, there's that.
Neil Peart's dead too, okay? So she's just copying him.
To be quite honest, and I don't know if I've mentioned this before because clearly I don't remember anything. I feel very disconnected when it comes to like celebrity deaths or anybody like that. Neil is the first person that I legitimately cried, but not like forcefully. I read it and I just started leaking from my eyes. I'm like, oh my God, ew, I didn't even know him. But like, it hurt so bad.
I'm sure a lot of people felt the same way.
Yeah.
I kind of felt that way too when I heard about Bowie. Because like when Bowie happened, like I was on a bus home from work and I was just like literally scrolling and then I was like, David Bowie's dead. I'm like, David Bowie's dead?
Yeah.
What the fuck does that supposed to mean?
You go into fact-checking mode. You're like, no, they have to have it wrong. And you check and everyone says, and you're like, oh my God. And you're like, world feels different.
Then I see he dies of cancer. And so I'm like, no, wait a minute. So I'm scrolling through old articles. When was he diagnosed? He didn't fucking tell anybody.
Yeah.
So that's why for a while I thought it was fake.
Yeah.
But then when Neil Peart, I was in line for Thai Express at the mall waiting to go on my shift to work. And when I was flipping through my phone again, Neil Peart's dead. The fuck do you mean Neil Peart's dead? I have to go to work in 10 minutes.
I think your work was cursed.
Oh, well, it was 2 different jobs. But
Never
regardless.
work again.
Or at least at the jobs I did. I think they're both closed anyway, so it doesn't matter.
There you go. They deserved it.
But they took some of the best with them. So, yeah, with Xanadu, obviously, again, very long song. My very first note is just simply, yes.
And that's it.
Period. And then I move on to the next note. Because, I mean, I whether or not it spoils anything, it's going to. I truly enjoy the song.
You've mentioned before.
It's been up there. I think I mentioned a long time ago. This is up there of one of my favorites. It's like Temple of Syrinx level of like favoritism to me. So I don't know. It is going to spoil it. I don't care. It's fine. Awesome song. I have more notes, but go ahead.
Excellent. Excuse me. This is what I mean. The intro, it's very scene setting. It's ambient or set some ambiance. But like, I don't understand how a song, like, how is this made? How did they like make the intro into the, I'm just baffled because it all sounds so good, but like I need to know how these things were written, and I need to find some interviews or backstage behind the scenes stuff, because all of this sounds so good, and I really want to know what came first, the chicken or egg. Did the intro inspire the song? Did the song, did they have the intro afterwards? I don't know. It's all confusing. It's 11 minutes of, I don't know what this is, but please give me more of it. And I feel like when the whole band comes in after the sort of very slow burn into it, that it's like waves crashing.
Yeah,
when they all come in, I'm just like, oh my God, please rush over me and drown me. That's all I want.
I do imagine this whole idea of like in that quiet beginning, building up to everything like that. It's like kind of like you're wandering through the wilderness, and as you're parting the grass and the leaves,
I have that
and then suddenly this big golden city is just right there, it's like, yeah. Oh my God, it's Xanadu, that place I've been looking for. I'm gonna break my fast on honeydew something.
Oh my God. Okay, sorry. It was this song. This song is like a montage of someone crawling across the desert, then scything his way through the forest and swimming alongside dolphins just to get to a guy in a castle that distributes one piece of sage advice to every person brave enough to make the trek. That's this song.
He also offers honeydew and milk.
I do have they're parting thoughts, but you said it. Parting thoughts. Honeydew and milk is gross.
Together, yes.
Honeydew's gross.
Actually, no, correct. I do not like honeydew.
Yeah.
Usually when you get those fruit platters, it's like cantaloupe or honeydew, I'll eat the cantaloupe. I'm fine with that.
Cantaloupe and honeydew, disgusting.
If you need the right cantaloupe, it's nice and sweet.
No, thank you.
It can taste either like dirt or like sweetness. You got to get the right one.
But if you think of honeydew and milk, just think of it as little honeydew ice cubes in a glass of milk.
I'm going to assume it's like the best you'd ever had, though, in this paradise city, not talking about GNR. I just realized they had that song. Like, I assume this is the best milk you'll ever have. This is the best honeydew you'll ever have. It's kind of like, I can't even compare to the Garden of Eden because I don't really know that story that well. But I'm assuming it's like the best thing you could ever have, or, you know.
Maybe in 1977 it was different. How, like, when we were younger, tomatoes tasted better. Maybe honeydew.
Tomatoes never tasted better.
Really?
Ever.
No,
Ever. They're disgusting.
I think they're disgusting now, but I grew a couple and only 3 of them survived. They were amazing.
I would much rather lick the bottom of my parents' feet than eat a fucking tomato. That's because I have a feeling that might taste better than a fucking tomato. And guess what? I don't want to lick my parents' feet.
Okay, you're not the tomato crowd I was looking for.
No, not at all. But it's weird because I still like pasta sauce and pizza sauce and shit like that. Sun-dried tomatoes sometimes, depending on what you have it on, is fine. Yeah. But like just a tomato, fuck no. I will throw out an entire burger just because I forgot to ask for no tomato.
Oh my God. Okay.
I won't do that.
Okay, eyes open. Shit.
Yeah, so if for whatever reason you're making me any sort of meal, there's no reason why this would ever happen, but if it ever comes to that, I'll know how much you either like me or hate me by the amount or least amount of tomato that you can put on the plate.
Fantastic. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put that in there.
But I just stare you dead in the eyes like, you fucking did.
I hate you.
Yeah, I got a few more notes for this one. Although I didn't write this one kind of like the other songs where it's kind of like, I like this part of the song because like this guitar, blah, 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 whatever. Yeah. You can't really do that with an 11-minute song.
Yeah, you pulled the Savannah away. It's just train of thought and whatever you feel.
Well, yeah, you're going to have to. I mean, like if we ever fucking did the song Echoes one day by Pink Floyd, it's 22 minutes. That song's a journey. It's not something you just sit down like, the guitar is nice here, but then the absolutely like 15-minute long like journey through a wormhole. How do you explain that?
God, I don't have enough patience to have a conversation with somebody, let alone listen to the same song for 22 minutes. Oh my God, please help me.
Well, good news. We're not doing Metal by Pink Floyd unless it's ever requested one day. Just God. Looking into the camera.
Oh, thank God. You're just like,
hey, Fearless is on that album. That's a 10 out of 10 song right there.
Interesting.
Yeah, I really summed it up nicely by saying there's countless great riffs in this song. I won't bother trying to point them all out because it's practically all of them. Mm-hmm. So, like, again, yeah, there's nowhere to start. I could point out a few, but it's kind of useless, especially because I didn't write down timestamps. Yeah. So it's like, there's this part probably 4 minutes in.
I do that, yeah.
It's like, and then this other part probably around 9.5 minutes if I had to guess. I'm probably wrong, though.
Like, you know that part where it goes meow, meow, meow on the guitar and you're like, no, I don't know what that part is.
The bass chords during the part where it sounds like the chorus, but he's not saying Xanadu, it's just instrumental. Do you remember that part? Go back and listen.
No.
Yeah, there's a lot of like different amounts of like energy and pacing all throughout the song. Like there are some very energetic fast parts, but slower, calm, like just vast, expansive types of parts. So I think it's all good. And considering that the song is over 11 minutes, like you really need to be strategic with what you're doing and where you put things in a song like this. We've listened to some pretty long songs where it's just like, this needed to be 2 minutes max.
Yeah, and you feel like physically fatigued listening to it.
But like, there's something about this one that just like it kept working because it would pick up and then slow down, pick up and slow down in appropriate amounts.
Yeah.
So you were able to have your moments of relax and then pick up and have more fun, everything like that. So I thought that was great. I think it's very like just intelligent composition, and that's coming a lot. That's I shouldn't say that's saying a lot, but considering the three men that we're talking about, I mean, I'm not really surprised, I guess.
Right. I don't have much more than what you said because I'm just going to steal your points as my own. I did write halfway through my written review that I think I zoned out enough for another 2 minutes to have lapsed because I sat there and I'm listening to it and then I looked down going, oh my God, it's 7 minutes into the song. I've barely written anything, but I'm just sitting there enjoying it. And I feel like not writing something is actually a good sign of how lost I ended up in the song. And I really like that. And I do want to compliment the solo. I find it very nice. I really like the guitar bends. It's very... I don't know how to describe it other than it kind of has like a tone that the solo in Limelight has, where it's just very like bow, like it's very drawn out. I don't know if maybe it's a guitar and then synth sort of layered to kind of push the sound.
It might very well be.
But I really like it. I don't know why, but I always think it sounds like a cow mooing all the time. But I absolutely love it. And yeah, I've always liked this song. It's yet to be seen whether I liked it as much as you do.
Considering that the song is full, I mean, there's parts of this album that I should say that are full of like bugs and birds that you can hear in the background. If we heard a cow, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
Maybe they just recorded a cow and then stretched out the audio and like detuned it to match the guitar. I don't know. Maybe they actually did. They're going to get crazy experimental because, I mean, it's prog rock. You're allowed to.
Well, I remember when I was a kid, like my dad's a huge Rush fan. That's probably where I got it from. Well, that is where I got it from.
Same.
And so I remember watching music videos with him when I was a kid. And by then, Moving Pictures was like a decade old. So we're watching the music videos and stuff and watching Limelight. And I remember him mentioning a cowbell. So every time I listen to the solo of Limelight, I think of a cow mooing. Because as a kid, all I thought when he said cowbell was, oh, there's a cow in this. And I'm 35 years old. And I will never, ever, ever drop that imagery. And I love it.
I was going to say, you're 35 years old and you're still waiting for the cow to make an appearance in the 500th time you've ever heard Limelight in your entire fucking life.
Exactly.
Well, it sounds like that you hold that song a little closer to the heart, I suppose, huh? The puns don't stop in person. They really don't. That
might be the best and most like logical transition, because you're saying that going, hey, that's the song. God damn it.
Possibly, but I think in the last couple episodes I had some decent ones too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'd like to think I'm getting better.
You were suspicious when I complimented the whole show segue, and you're like, why are you being nice? I'm like, because they were good. And maybe I'm loopy.
Yeah, I was waiting for the kicker to come. It's like, by the way, you're a piece of shit.
Oh, hell no. No, I got to sprinkle those nice episodes in, so then when I'm mean, you can just remember, oh yeah, she was nice that one time. It's fine, I'll let it go.
Well, so far you're being nice, and that's nice considering this is a season finale and episode 100.
And we're here in person, which still baffles me.
Yeah, like we can...
Because I'm talking and I look over you going, oh my God, you're here.
We can actually be physically violent towards each other if things get too out of hand with these like puns and disagreements.
Just close your laptop.
This would have been good if for like, now I can do all like the Bob Dylan stuff in front of you.
Oh my god, and I can't just leave.
No, you can't. It's also, you can also now see the size of space I'm working with, so it's gonna be difficult to push things out of the way and leave. Like you gotta push the table out of the way. Please don't knock over that light over there.
I love how I was having fun until I realized that you're right, and then I go, fuck, okay, I better not step out of line. I better not say anything wrong, or else he's going, hey, Savannah. Fuck off.
Bowie, Mustaine, Bob Dylan, and now Robert Smith's added to the list. Got a cast of characters. I'm going to have to write a play one day.
I hate everything.
It's going to be a battle to the death.
Oh, fuck.
All right, we'll move on to song number 3, Closer to the Heart. I think this is technically the B-side. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, side 2, because side 1, Farewell to the Kings and Xanadu, and then considering that the next 3 songs are like anywhere from like 3 to 5 minutes, and then Cygnus is like the last one. It's very long. It's like 10 minutes. So I guess it makes sense that that whole one was just side A there. Mm-hmm. But Closer to the Heart, so chances are, if you've heard of Rush, this is probably one of the biggest ones you've probably ever heard.
Very digestible.
I'm sure this is ranked up there pretty highly as one of the runner-ups for the Canadian national anthem, like next to like Wheat Kings and shit like that. Yeah.
This is a music video that I remember because I remember the eyes at the beginning.
I do, but I also don't.
Yeah.
Aren't they in like a cabin?
I don't recall. I know Limelight and Tom Sawyer. They are in 1981.
They're those were terrible to watch.
But like Closer to the Heart has like, it's like a black screen, and then it has like a long oval for their eyes, and then it starts to open up, and it's ridiculous.
70s videos suck.
They were terrible.
Yeah, well, because like music videos weren't important back then anyway. So I won't lie when I say I'm very, very tired of this song. But it is beautifully written and performed. But I mean, like, Hello Hotel California. There's another season 1 callback to when I explained what the Hotel California effect is. That's Closer to the Heart. Now, I want to emphasize though, I do not technically hate this song at all. It's a very beautiful song. It really is, and it's very just warm and nice and everything like that. So I don't really have much bad to say about it at all, other than just like, I don't want to listen to this one.
I have another. I don't know if I've mentioned this before,
it's like Subdivisions or Tom Sawyer.
It's fucking Tom Sawyer. I do not want to hear that song. Like, if it's on, I'm like, yay, they're playing Rush. But could we please just play something else?
Do you know how many albums these guys have?
Right. I'm so sick of or YYZ. I'm so sick of hearing that. YYZ. So sick of it.
I will say, I went to Montreal recently, and I flew out of YYZ, Pearson Airport. Yeah. And I'm so glad that I was just so concentrated on what I was doing that song didn't come to my head once. I even saw the YYZ sign and didn't think of the song. Like, not until after I landed at Trudeau Airport in Montreal, I was like, oh yeah, that was like YYZ, wasn't it? Interesting.
And there's like a little chuckle to yourself. You're like, I'm like, and then that's it.
Well, I get the nature of the song now because that place is a fucking maze. It is miles long, and it is a maze. So now I can think of the chaotic nature of that song while trying to traverse the very long speed walking sidewalks. You have to catch a train to get to another terminal. Like, holy shit.
Yep.
Anyways, that's a whole other thing. This is Closer to the Heart.
Yep. I think that the guitar has really always been beautiful. Kind of like...
I think, right?
I would assume so. I have not watched the video, I think, in the last 20 years, so I have not noticed.
I don't even recall seeing it, so there you go.
I think when Alex plays it live, you have the 12 string on a stand and he comes over and plays it. So maybe that's
possibly.
I'm imagining that. But like you, it's one of those songs that does get a lot of airplay, a lot of overplayment. So I'm like, it's okay. But listening to it, I feel like this one is opposite of a lot of the other songs that we do, where I just want to listen to it. I don't want to think about it critically. But when I'm listening to this one critically, I'm kind of like, I actually kind of like it a little bit more than just listening to it passively on the radio. So I like that. And the bass adds a very fun groove that really sets the pace. Like, nothing is too fast. And it kind of feels like the bass is like, no, I got this. And then goes, and then everything's like, oh, okay, we'll follow him. And I like that a lot.
Yeah. And actually, I'll tag in on that then, because my second note here is it talks about the groove between the drum and the bass. There's the verses, and it was how pleasant it is all together.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's something I never really truly focused too much in on either, I guess. Like, because, obviously, like, you and I have both heard this song, like, as kids, like, a long time ago. So I've been hearing it for years and years growing up. So when you're a kid, you're not going to think about a song too in depth regardless.
Yeah.
And so as I'm growing up, I'm so used to it that I'm not really listening to it. I'm just like, I know what it is, and I can hum the melody and everything like that. But then, like, sitting here critically, I'm, like, focusing in on more of the grooves of the drum and bass, and just like, that sounds really cool. I really like that. I mean, like, the guitar's mainly just doing a lot to drive the rhythm. And I guess the melody to an extent too. So it plays more of a background role aside from the intro.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess there was more to enjoy about this, and this is why I said like I don't hate the song at all. I'm absolutely tired of hearing it. That's all.
Yeah.
But at least the good news for that is I always forget how short this song is.
Yes.
Like
right?
2 minutes 54 seconds, and like again, like without even thinking, if you asked me before, it's like how long's Close to the Heart? Oh, it's like 3.5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because 3.5 is an easy, safe answer. It's like radio length.
Yeah.
It does make me appreciate the song more because of that, because obviously it's very catchy, it's radio friendly, it's an instant classic, it's under 3 minutes, so it does everything it needs to do in like without dragging it out too much. Granted, Rush isn't necessarily known for bad instrumental extensions, so that would have been too bad, but I like this one being as short as it was. So again, don't hate this song, just after today maybe never listen to it again, or at least for another 5 years.
Well, you were in control of your destiny. I do like at the end of this, it feels like it gets comfortable. It's like meeting somebody at the beginning of the song, and it's kind of like you don't really know how to interact with them, and you're like, okay, we're a little, we're gonna play our part and kind of do this. And near the end of the song, it kind of feels like everyone got much more comfortable. So it starts to. I don't know if it actually does, but it sounds like it kind of speeds up. Everyone's kind of feeling a little more comfortable near the end, so I really like that a lot. And it picks up the pace a bit. It is perfect for a 3-minute song. Like you, I thought it was not much longer, but like just longer than it
more
actually is.
More than 3 minutes.
Yeah. And the drum fills are fun when you pay attention, because if you're not paying attention, it's just going to sound like another radio song.
Neil's always doing
whatever.
something fun anyway. So.
Yeah, and it's like in between things, you get like little fills and stuff like that, but not everyone is the same. It kind of changes here and there. I really like that a lot. And I love vocally mimicking the guitar solo, like all the time.
I can just see like some drunk dude in his late 40s in his like wife beater and like shitty boxers on his couch, covered in Cheeto dust, a couple spilled beers around him, but one of them's full because he's still drinking it, and he's doing exactly that.
Yeah.
And he's the kind of guy who's like, there's no better drummer in the world than Neil fucking Peart. No. And then he does the guitar solo because he's not even thinking of like two different people.
I do want to correct that. Some drunk guy going, oh, I love Neil. He would call him Neil Peart. I love Neil Peart. And then the sober one sitting there, like, knowing, just goes, it's not Peart.
Is he Neil Parton? Is he related to Dolly? Yo, tell your sister to send me your picture of her tits.
all right, I'll call you later. Grabs your stuff and you'll leave. You're like, I'm never coming back. No, thank you.
Neil Parton.
And my parting thought on this one, I only have 3 songs with parting thoughts, none of which are really worth anything. I would love to sail into destiny.
Sail into destiny.
Yeah, he says it in the song.
Oh, does he?
I will be your, or was it, you can be the captain and I will draw the chart, sailing into destiny closer to the heart.
I guess I just didn't pay attention to the lyrics at all. I don't know.
Damn right. See, I'm not smart at a lot of things, but I'm smart at Rush lyrics. To this song only.
I was going to say, well, we can quiz you on the next one, too.
Hell no.
There are Rush lyrics I'm pretty familiar with, but then, other ones I should know and then clearly don't. And I think Closer to the Heart's always one of them. Like, I know a good chunk of the lyrics, but I must have missed that part.
If you read me lyrics off of Test for Echo or Presto, I could tell you what song it belongs to. But that's it, only because those ones are easy.
I can tell you, you can say 3 or 4 lyrics or something like that. I can tell you any Nine Inch Nails song.
Yeah.
That I'm like, I know there's people who can do the whole, like, I can name Rush's discography, like, from first to last in, like, a minute. Yeah,
that's easy, yeah.
I can do that with Nine Inch Nails. It's much smaller than Rush's, obviously. Yeah. But I took it further one night. I was having drinks with my parents. Sorry, this is about Nine Inch Nails. But this is on topic, kind of. And I was just like, I like them so much, I can name every single song in order off of every single album in order. And I did it, not in a minute. Yeah. Because that's a lot. But I did it, and I even fact checked myself. It took me about 3.5 minutes to do or something like that. So I'm that kind of fan for Nine Inch Nails. But Rush, I probably should be, because I have like Rush merch everywhere and stuff. So I don't know.
I honestly think that it would be a fun video to do something like that, where it's like have a Jeopardy board for Rush and Nine Inch Nails, and I'll quiz you and you quiz me.
Does someone want to set that up?
I will. I'll make a Jeopardy board.
Yeah, but you can't make questions that I'm supposed to ask you.
That's true, and
That's not fair.
And I couldn't do Nine Inch Nails questions because I have no idea.
What's Trent's real name? It's like, that's the hardest question you have, really?
And you're just like, Trent. His name's Trent.
It's clearly his real... It's actually Michael, though.
Is it?
Michael Trent Reznor, but he dropped the Michael and now legally goes by Trent, yes.
There is
Mike Reznor.
Yeah, there's
Landwad.
like no other... Yeah, that just... It seems to fit, so...
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, well, we'll move on because we're talking too much about Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah.
That's like another favorite band of mine, so why wouldn't I talk about... We'll talk about Rush. But we'll move on to song number 4, Cinderella Man. Stop flashing the camera.
I can't. You say you're like, I love Nine Inch Nails. I go, I love Rush. I'm Rush Man.
If I did this, you just see chest hair, so I'm not going to do that.
And you're like,
and I do not.
And I ripped my shirt.
And I don't have an NIN right in the middle of my chest hair, so I can't do that.
Oh my God. Imagine doing that. Not only do you sacrifice the shirt, for some reason you felt the need to rip it off in front of me, and you shaved NIN into your chest
And
hair.
it would be fresh, too, because, like, you know, I can grow hair pretty quickly.
It's all red and bumpy.
Oh, yeah. Got those, like, weird red stubble marks and everything like that. And, like, I'm just doing this for, like, every 2 minutes on the podcast.
Why is your nipple bleeding? Oh.
I was trying to do the box around the NIN and I accidentally cut my nipple. So ignore that. Why are you looking at my nipples, huh?
Fucking gross.
See, these jokes take on a whole new meaning when we're actually in person now.
Oh my God, I am so grossed out. And on the edge of my seat because I have no idea what's going to happen.
Except for the part where we talk about Cinderella Man.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go first since that was your cue to make me talk first.
Hell yes.
This song kind of feels like it takes some of the same compositional beats from previous tracks. Like, I felt like there was some Farewell to Kings in here for sure. And it's funny how crazy the lyrical difference is in this one because this song was written by Geddy.
Yeah.
And apparently, I was reading, he wrote this after watching the movie Mr. Deeds Goes to Town.
Okay. But not the Adam Sandler one.
No, that's just Mr. Deeds from 2000. This was back in the 70s when he originally wrote the lyrics.
Yes.
It's roughly based on that story, which I don't know anything about that movie. I didn't read up. I was just like, oh, that's a weird factoid.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell it wasn't written by Neil Peart. Hey, that's a good combo name right there. Neart, my boy.
I never want to hear that again.
He's not necessarily a bad lyric writer or anything like that, but just it's so weird going from these fantastical stories to this.
Something that's very digestible and easy to understand.
And it's kind of like when you go back to the first album and think, like, listen to the song, I Think I'm Going Bald.
It's so hard for me to listen to anything from the first two albums, yeah.
Fly By Night?
Yeah,
even?
yeah.
That one's pretty decent.
Yeah.
By Tour and the Snow Dog's a little weird, but...
Yeah, I don't know, it's not as mind-bending as I'm used to.
Well, that was Neil's introduction to the band. So, I mean, like, it's so, like, these cool rock hits, but nothing fantastical. Like, because... Remember, Crest of Steel was his introduction to writing like that.
Yeah.
And that flopped.
Yeah.
So if 2112 didn't work, oh boy, we wouldn't have this.
Yeah, literally.
Minus Cinderella Man because Geddy wrote it.
Fair. Oh my God, excuse me. Now I'm the gassy one.
We can't mute.
I can't just mute myself.
Okay, I've done it like 4 or 5 times, but I'm internalizing my burps. So when you're gone, it's going to be like, you know, like if a new couple goes on a date and you're holding your farts all night and then you're just like, you literally, your ass explodes. Yeah. Like as soon as they're in their own house.
As soon as I leave, you pull up the puke bucket. You're like, okay,
I'll belch and then just like seconds later, things start following. And it's then just cut to you in your car doing the same thing on the steering wheel.
That's fucking gross. No, at least I have the decency to hang a bag over the steering wheel.
Driver's side puke bag, huh?
That's disgusting. Okay, so I like this song. I don't think that I've ever not liked this song. I'm very glad that he says the song title in the song, so I do remember what it's called.
The very first thing you hear.
Thank God. I love that the electric guitar and the vocals follow the same melody. It adds a punch to each syllable, so it kind of goes back to when you were talking about like the staccato playing, where he'll kind of like hit on every word that he sings, and I'm like, it just adds that like intensity to it, and I really like that. And it kind of helps me remember the lyrics, or really remember how the vocal melody goes, because if I just listen to the guitar, I can just follow that. So I like that a lot. And the bass feature, and I don't want to just call it like a bass solo because it's playing underneath the guitar solo, so I called it more of a feature, but it's holding down the solo, and it is goddamn beautiful.
Going back to that staccato thing you were talking about a minute ago,
Yeah.
like that's I think one of the biggest points I took of saying, oh, this kind of like took some beats from Farewell to Kings.
Yeah. Okay. Yes,
The
I'm
actual
seeing
song.
it. I'm seeing it.
I felt a lot of that in this one too. I'm not particularly huge on this song. Oh, look at that, the opposite thing again.
look
Here we
at
go.
that. It's not
it had to happen at least
changing.
once this episode.
Ay,
the opposite
ay.
thing, you know.
It's not changing.
Yeah. I felt the chorus was probably one of the weaker ones, if not the weakest one on the album.
Yeah. Well, it brings down the intensity.
It does, but the thing is, I've liked songs that do that in the past. Depending on how you do it, it can be really well done.
Yeah.
This one just doesn't do it. It ends kind of abruptly. I don't like the minor twist at the end of it. It's just not as catchy or as gripping. So, I mean, like, this song is generally pretty forgettable to me. Like, I don't hate it, but in my catalog of favorite Rush songs, this one's probably not up there. I can tell you that.
Well, shit.
It's bound to happen at least once, even on a Rush album of 6 songs.
6 songs, and I honestly don't think we're going to match, any of them.
Maybe.
I really enjoy that half the verse is just vocals and guitar, and then the rest of it is like the staccato playing, which is everybody, and I really like that. It's very interesting, and it kind of keeps my attention rather than sounding stale and having the same sound through it, because the verse is kind of, I don't really know how to describe it other than it's just like two groups of lines. I don't know. I'm not an artist. I'm not a musician.
You had to bring your A game to this episode, but you didn't.
How can I bring something I don't have?
You learn it and then you bring it. You have 100 episodes to prepare for episode 100.
Did we miss the part at the beginning when I said that I met you in school, then I dropped out? I'm not good at sticking with learnings. No learning brain stuffs.
Well, 2.5 years into this now. So that's got to mean
and
something.
I'm still shit.
There you go.
I always thought this song was shorter than 4.5 minutes. Did not realize that it was as long as it is.
How long is... Oh, yeah, okay. 4:22? Yeah.
And there is something about this song that has always pleased me. I don't know if it's all the stuff that I've already described, but it tingles my brain, and I like it very, very much. And just my parting thought, I love the lyric, "Try as they might, they cannot steal your dreams." I really like that.
Well, I'm going to have to look into the plot of that movie then, because clearly something's happening in that movie that he's writing. He felt so compelled to write about in a song. It's like, hey, Neil, don't worry, I got this one.
And then Neil's like, fuck.
He flashes back to the first album and has a mental breakdown.
Oh my God.
I wasn't here for that one, so that's why I don't like that one so much.
He's like, okay, and hands over a pencil, and Getty grabs it, and Neil's like, okay, I'm going back to the bus now.
Oh, by the way, we're playing a few songs off the first album. He's just like, I have to play Jim Rutsey's drum lines.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with Jim Rutsey, but when you compare the two, it's like
John
day, night.
Rutsey. Put some respect on the
Jim or
man's
John.
name.
People alternate those names.
Really?
Jim and John, yeah.
I think he was born a John.
Well, there, he looks like a John. I have an uncle named John that, if you go back to his younger photos of the 70s and 80s, they kind of look alike.
All right, really?
So,
Interesting.
kind of strange there, but I can tell you right now, my uncle did not go on to be a famous drummer for a famous band. He went on to be a drummer, but didn't go far. He's not listening to this. I can talk about it. It's fine.
Parallels are kind of there. Kind of.
Yeah, he tried stuff in the 80s, though, so that's a little late to be comparing to Rush, I guess, but then it compares to Rush.
Fair.
So I guess we'll just move right on then. We're almost done already. This is crazy. Song number 5, Madrigal.
I've always said
Madrigal?
it madrigal. Yeah.
They probably say it in the song too, and I just ignored it or something like that. I have no idea. like when it comes to the songs on this album that I do or don't remember, like I never remember this one. Now I don't want to say that means it's a bad one.
Yeah.
Just like there's nothing much about the song that kind of grabs me in this one, and it's also really short, 2:35.
Right.
So when you ask me about short Rush tracks, I'm like, those don't exist, silly.
Yeah.
But clearly they do.
You're like, that's just a radio edit.
I was anticipating the entire time listening to this for like a bigger pickup to like eventually come in, because it sounds like it's gonna build into something. But then I realized I was sitting there for a while, nothing's really picking up, and the percussion's already there and everything like that. But I realized upon a couple listens that I kind of generally like that softer nature, and also the reason why like that pickup never came, like, oh, it's 2.5 minutes. I would have gotten that. They would have started the song with it. Yeah. Realizing at this point in the album that we haven't really had a song like this yet. We've had moments like it, but not a whole song.
Yeah.
It actually made me appreciate it a little more, so I did like it for that reason. Oh, there you go.
This is the part of the performance where I sit and try and come down from the last 4 songs.
That was me with Cinderella Man.
Ouch. Keeps the feel and theme of the album, but is definitely a transition track. It isn't my favorite because it really doesn't do too much. It's just sort of a level intensity the entire time, which is no intensity at all.
That's okay.
The bass at the very end of the song as the song fades out. The bass is obviously there for the whole song, but just hearing it on its own as the song fades out, I really like it. The guitar tone just in general for this whole album is just fantastic. It's not too tinny. It's not too muddy. It's very nice. It's distinguishable from note to note. I really like that a lot. And I literally have nothing else to say about this, not because I didn't like it. It's just I liked it less. And it's 2.5 minutes.
Yeah. And I'll say this about the guitar tone at the very least too, is because I think the tone didn't really change from like the first album maybe up to like Moving Pictures.
Really?
Like I feel like the 60s through the 70s, all the way through the 70s, I think the guitar more or less carried the same tone.
Yeah.
But then obviously, the big bad 80s came and fucked up rock music forever, or did it? There's some good rock albums, I guess.
Turn it to 11, all of them.
I'll say your favorite Rush album literally came from the 80s.
Yeah.
So like that's obviously when things changed and like became more a little expansive, whereas like in the 70s, like things kind of felt... There's no good way for me to put this because I can't think of the right word. I was going to say felt more in its place, meaning like the best visualization I can think of is like if you think of their concert and like the R40 tour where they started with all the amps and then slowly started to break down one by one until they were like that gymnasium scene with a single amp.
Yeah.
Well,
that's where my shirt's from that tour.
I was going to say, is that a
R40?
Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, because I was like looking at the logo. I'm like, that's a very old logo.
Damn right. I stole all my dad's old shirts, so now I got all those.
But yeah, because this reminds me of like the whole single amp idea.
Yeah.
But then like the 80s would be like the more grand amp idea.
It's like the wall of sound. Trademark, not by me.
Also the wall sounds like a different thing too.
I just imagine every time I hear wall of sound, I don't think of it as a theory. I think of it as like floor to ceiling amps, but like that Maxell commercial from the 80s where the guy's sitting in the chair and the TV goes on and it blows his face off.
Fair.
Yeah, that's how I feel listening to Rush.
I only really have 2 more notes for this one. The first one has to do with through this song you get this kind of like whistling synth that goes all the way through the song. Originally, see now I'm getting burps and I'm trying not to. Gotta hit the M button real quick. I'm literally keeping them in me, so it's starting to hurt a bit. Maybe at the very end of the episode is when I'll belch it all out.
Burp and let it out your nose. That's how I normally do it.
Yeah, but then my sinuses are gonna sting.
Oh.
And then I had to do this on camera.
Oh.
Like I just did.
Well, maybe my body is just more efficient at hiding its flaws.
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, because usually no one's around and I can burp and fart to my heart's extent. But yeah, the whistling synth, it originally bothered me for a little while when I listened to it, but like I grew to like it, especially when it's paired with like that the softer drums and like the higher end bass passages and everything like that. So again, finding things that I do like about this, and it's weird to me that this is already like the second last track on the entire album. We're like song 5. And then we think about last week, we did a 17-song album.
I'm so sorry about that. Oh my lord.
Don't apologize. Okay,
no, I am
like
sorry
The Cure.
to everybody.
Oh, I like The Cure, and I hadn't heard that album yet, so it was nice to finally do an album I hadn't heard.
Like I said last week, I always look like I'll pick the album going, yeah, that's a good one, or yeah, let's stick it to Kris and pick something stupid.
The Boggles.
And then card up there.
No, fuck, no, take it down. I'm not putting that one up. Doesn't deserve anything.
But I'll go on to Spotify and I'll go. The first thing I'll do is scroll down to see how long the album is. It was like an hour and 15 minutes. I'm like, what did I do? What did I do? But if you listen to that episode, I hope you liked it. I hope you liked it. I hope you and us had some matches because there were so many tracks. And this one, I'm so scared.
We had a single match last week, but at least we had one. We didn't expect much. So
that is true. That is true.
Who knows? Maybe we could be pleasantly surprised today.
What if you had like 4 out of 6?
Well, that would break the by ratio would break the record.
That'd be fucking crazy.
Because that would be 66.66% of the entire album.
Oh my god.
Well, because I already know that our number ones likely won't match, but that's okay. That's 1 out of 5. That's fine.
Yeah, probably not at all.
Or I guess technically there'd be 2 mismatches then, so I don't know.
Well, let's find out and do the last song.
Yes, the very last song, the second longest song in the entire album. Song number 6, Cygnus X1, Book 1, The Voyage. Now, this one's in 4 parts, but we're just counting it as 1 track because that's pretty... Like, even on the back of the record, it doesn't list the parts. It literally says Cygnus X1, but, like, it's listed as Book 1, The Voyage, 4 parts, and part 2, like book 2, is literally Side A of Hemispheres, which I believe is the next album after this one.
And it is the second drink that I have.
Ooh la la, how matching.
Topical.
And what's I think the best part is you didn't even realize that when I told you.
I didn't, yeah.
So it's just like, I'm like, oh, look, you like unintentionally did that.
Yeah, I didn't realize we were going to reference it, but I knew what it was. I also did not realize or think purposely that I was going to leave the Farewell to Kings beer for today. And then when I grabbed it this afternoon, I thought, wow, I am a genius.
There we go. Just so it could be in camera view.
Fantastic. And excuse me opening the second one.
Well, I had to do my second can like all the way the hell behind the microphone over here. Because again, yeah, we are doing this live, so it's so easy to mute on Zoom. You don't hear
Right?
any of the imperfections.
Right.
I'm so glad I don't have to like cough. I need to clear my throat this week. Usually I have to like cough and clear my throat a bit.
Everyone gets to listen to my bodily functions. It's fine.
Or almost all of them at the very least.
Kris is like, that's getting edited. That's getting edited.
Oh yeah, don't do more work than I have to do. Jesus. All right, so song number 6, Cygnus X1. This at the beginning felt like it was trying to push into 2112 type territory because you're getting like that spacey ambient kind of noise. Yep. But eventually it was replaced. Well, it even had like those vocals that were kind of like spacey as well with the heavy effects on it.
Yeah.
Eventually it was replaced by regular instrumental, so like you just get back into that kind of like regular swing of things. But I noticed with this one the instrumentals like had like this touch of like funk to it.
Oh yeah?
Like at least in the beginning, like it just like this very kind of like funky groove. Yeah, but and just the way the bass was playing it too really had that like funk behind it, while still being proggy, so prog funk if you want to call it that, I guess. I don't know.
Oh my god, I'm gonna go home and Google that, and I really hope I find something good.
Well, we tried this before with like what progressive rap or whatever it was, and then
I think so.
And I think you even pointed out Death Grip, so I'm like, oh yeah, we've done them before too.
Yeah.
But yeah, really fun composition all around on this one. Again, I don't have any normal notes for this one. I have more, but like I don't have any normal notes because it's a very long song.
Excellent. I have random ones, so I'll probably pepper those in. But my very first one, okay, so I hate songs like this where they're, and I say this as a generalization, but really I just mean the intro. where there's a robotic voice giving instructions or repeating numbers, because there's a Porcupine Tree song, and I forget which one it is.
Can we talk shit on Steven Wilson for a minute?
No. We cannot, but I am going to reference one of their songs, I think from the album Stupid Dream, and the end of it is just a robotic female voice just giving a bunch of numbers. I fucking hate that. It is so disturbing and
5,
uncomfortable.
3, 1,
yeah.
2.
And it's like, what are you trying to tell me? Like, it feels like I'm listening to an end of the world broadcast, and it's giving me
It's like army codes.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, should I be knowing this? Should I know what you're talking about? And are there going to be bomb sirens? I don't know.
Steven Wilson trying to expose the deep state? Holy Christ.
And it's scary. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to crack the code. Who knows?
Well,
but it
he can't crack the code of a good album, so I don't think he's going to crack a government code of any type.
God. You know I'm going to make you do one of his albums again.
Oh, that's fine. We need more D-tier albums.
Holy shit. I got nothing to say. I have more points, but go on and I'll pepper mine in.
Yeah, now that you're here, I can actually tell you a little more about Steven Wilson to your face once. You can't just hang up the call.
No, but I don't know what to say, so I just laugh in uncomfortable feelings and cover my face.
It's like the Bare Naked Lady singing, I'm the kind of guy who laughs at a funeral. Well, right now you're laughing at Steven Wilson's fucking funeral.
You soon will. But I don't know the rest of the song. I wish I did.
It's been 1 week since I've made fun of Steven Wilson. You weren't here for it, but I did just to myself.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure you did it last week, yeah.
I probably do it all the time. We were doing an English band last week. It would have been so fitting, because Robert Smith is a better songwriter anyway. So I enjoy the progression of the song at the very least, because it kind of changes it up a bunch.
Yep.
But before the vocals came in halfway, I was kind of wondering like exactly like where this song was going, as like the main riff's repeated for quite a while.
Yeah.
But like not necessarily that's a bad thing, but just kind of like, you know, you're getting to like the 4 minute, nearly 5 minute mark, and you're just sitting there like, are you gonna jam some more? Like,
tapping your invisible watch.
Is there anything else beyond this? Obviously it does. It changes up quite a bit, makes it like it's pretty damn fun. And this goes from feeling like a bouncy and like fun, adventurous type of song to this like dim and bleak piece. But given that apparently the story of this song is like some guy going to explore a black hole and then, he's sucked into it, and that's never a good thing. So no wonder it sounds so dim and bleak at the end.
Kind of reminds me of like, just that idea reminds me of like the Twilight Zone with like the spiral and somebody in it and he's spinning and he just disappears forever.
Well, everything I've heard scientists say about what it would be like to be sucked into a black hole, it sounds horrifying. Oh. Now you get the burps.
I've not heard anything, so spill a little bit. I need to be fearful a little.
If anyone's, well, it would be hard to know what happens to you, but like if I watched you fly into a black hole, it would look like you're just completely frozen in time.
Yeah.
And slowly your body would just kind of fade from existence, but really you'd end up being like spaghettified and everything like that, and pulled through because you're being pulled into this extremely heavy gravitational thing. I'm not qualified to talk about this part. I'm just going by what I heard.
I assume it's cold and not hot, so would I like freeze?
No, you wouldn't be frozen though. Like what you think you're moving and what you think you're doing.
Yeah.
Like you can look behind you and be like, oh, there's the people, but like to them they don't see you moving.
Really?
Because like light is absorbed into the hole and like it can't escape the hole, so therefore...
This is why I don't like space. It fucking freaks me out too much.
It was like a very long video I watched explaining it, and like I'm trying to do the best I can, but I'm not qualified for this.
Space and deep sea, fucking terrifying. No, thank you. I would like to stay neutral in the middle.
I have megalophobia, so I would just shit my pants if I saw a black hole in person. Thankfully, I'd be dead right away, because if we were that close, we'd already be dead.
That is so scary.
But yeah, I mean... I was wondering why I was talking about being sucked into a black hole, because I realized we were talking about this song. So that's explains why it sounds so sad at the end. Although it felt kind of weird. It kind of felt like Farewell to Kings a little bit, kind of like something of a tacked on ending. Didn't feel the best executed. Like I always think back to 2112, that first half, and like how well that wrapped up and how action packed it seemed because of what was happening.
Yeah.
Whereas this one's just kind of like, oh, okay, that's the end?
Yeah.
Unfortunate. Although technically not, because it continues on in hemispheres, but we aren't talking about that one today.
It's like, when the song ends, at least for me, it was kind of like oh, is it over? Is it just dimming down to another part? And then, so when I do these reviews, like I will listen to certain songs on repeat. So it's like, I'll know when it restarts and I can kind of listen to different parts. So I did that to this one. And then as it closed and it was bringing up again, I was like, oh, is this the second part? Oh shit, the song restarted. I didn't even notice that it had ended. I just thought that it had, sort of turned down the volume a little just to come back up, but it didn't come back up.
Yeah. No, because then you just get sucked into a black hole, and that we're watching you fade away into it. That's it. That's the end of the song.
Imagine that's actually it, and you think about it, and you're like, oh, well, that makes sense now.
And then Rush releases no more albums. That's it. They make it so real that
that's it.
That's it.
They're
no
dead
more Rush.
Forever. Can't leave the house.
1977 was the last release they ever did, and
That's
they never
it.
went on the Canadian Music Hall of Fame or Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or anything.
I would definitely have a lackluster musical life if that was the case. So I have like a bunch of notes, but whatever value on them, I don't know. I do like that at the beginning when the bass is just playing that riff where it's like doom, doom, do, 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 and they're just the bass. There's nothing else. I really like that it gets louder and more clear as it approaches the whole band coming in.
The spaceship approaching the black hole type deal.
And it sounds like he's walking towards you while playing, which is weirdly menacing somehow. So I actually enjoyed that because it felt very dynamic.
Can I jump in on that real quick?
Yeah, totally.
Because I just like how you say it's like walking towards you while playing, but I like how because it stops every once in a while. Dan, 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 it stops.
Yeah.
And so he stops with it, and then he'll sit there for a minute, and then play again and walk towards you. Stop again.
It's like it's like those old cartoons where it was like it would play that sneaky music, and then when the music stopped, then you stop. And then you keep going again. So
yeah.
I like that imagery. I love the bass. I'm going to love the bass all of the time.
It's Rush.
Oh my God, I love it.
Percussive bass, let's go.
And I love the bass riffs here. Very forward and very beautiful. Like you were saying with the track earlier in the album, definitely feels like the bass is taking the lead, if not for pretty much the whole album. The guitar is really just the accessory to the bass's adventure of the album. I felt like this song is longer than Xanadu because the slowdown is in the middle, whereas Xanadu, it's at the beginning. So it's kind of like waiting for the song to start proper, I feel is less tedious than pulling the brakes in the middle. But while listening to this, I was unaware that it was in 4 different parts. So maybe that slowdown was one of the parts. Maybe that's just what I got to. And I don't know how to feel about this one because to me it feels very Fly By Night, not the song, but just like that era of albums. So it's like the first 2 albums. It's, believe it or not, it's not my favorite. And it does kind of feel like a medley of riffs from other albums. Now, I don't know if I've, and I am going on long, might be.
All good?
I don't know if I've actually heard this song live before or if this like riffage has been used before this album or is used on Hemispheres. Because I definitely have heard Hemispheres. So I'm not
I wonder if he
100.
did because maybe some of the motifs came back for Cygnus 2.
Because it sounds very familiar, but not familiar enough that I can place it to this song on this album.
No, yeah, fair enough. And yeah, I don't want to say that this one wasn't popular, but at the same time, like, it's not one of those ones people immediately jump to, like, even for like the longer Rush tracks or anything like that. So I don't know. It's hard to say. I've heard Cygnus 2 probably at the beginning of the year, and just for the sake of clarity, it's like the end of November when we're recording this to 2023. So like the beginning of the year is the last time I heard Cygnus 2, so I can't recall off the top of my head. But yeah, maybe there's some motifs that come back. It would kind of make sense, ties in the story a little more and everything like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's all I have for this one. I mean, with this album, you and I have different quote unquote Rush eras.
Yeah.
Mine's definitely in this era because I mean I've said it a billion times. 2112 is up there. It's like one of my favorites.
Yeah. 1985 onwards.
Yeah. Fucking who the hell has ever heard of Power Windows?
Oh my God. Power Windows, Hold Your Fire, and Presto.
You didn't even say Grace Under Pressure. Like
that came out
decent.
in 1986 or was it 1986 or 1984? I don't remember. But Presto's my favorite.
I feel like
sure.
it came out after Power Windows.
Shit, I'm looking this up.
I'm not super familiar with
Under Pressure. No, I think it's 1984. 1984.
Oh,
so it was
okay.
after or before Power Windows.
Okay, so then all their good stuff was before that.
And then I pick up the slack afterwards.
Well, as I said, Presto's not so bad. Hold Your Fire's okay.
Yeah.
Roll the Bones, well, you can go back and watch our episode about it. I started digging them again around Counterparts.
Yeah.
Test for Echo changed to more of that rock sound. They dropped the synth.
Bam, 6-year break to why can I can see it. I can see it.
Test Your Fire Echo? I don't know.
It's
Vapor Trails, that's what
Vapor
it is.
Trails, that's
Which
it.
is funny because I don't recall anything from that album.
Really? Ooh,
I feel like I've heard it, but I don't know. But anyways, we heard Farewell to Kings at the very least, and we are now at the end of this very long album, 37 minutes and 6 songs long. Holy shit.
Yes.
So, hey, thank you very much for making it to the end of the episode and hanging out with us, and hopefully you listen to the album too, because we want to hear your opinions on it. As per usual, we always do. But now we got to go a little further, and we want to hear more of your opinions as well, because now we have to rank the songs. I guess... Or you'll keep hearing our voices, but I'm going to have to do some actual video editing now because I'm going to have to change screens so you can see everything. So not above our heads, but the graphics have changed. Boom. There are names. There are numbers. There's going to be more names, song names to be specific. Because now we need to go to least favorite to favorite, not so great to great. Fucking Roll the Bones to 2112. Whatever you want to list these songs as is what we got to do now. And oh my god, episode 100, we're about to go into break, so it's nice that I don't have to do a whole lot for this one as compared to last week, 34 songs, whereas this week's only 12. So one side was 17 songs last week. This song a total is 12. That's so much easier to do.
Oopsies.
Whatever, it's fine. I don't mind it. I mean,
he says it's fine, but like he texted me and he was like, "Don't ever do that again, or we are never recording another show." So I said, "Okay, I promise."
Yeah, and just to annoy her, I also sent her a screenshot of every single edit I had to do, and I sent it through text and email and just flooded her shit.
And then for some reason through Facebook Messenger, as if that was necessary.
Instagram, and then I sent it through our own Rate the Record email.
Hey, Savannah, do you have WhatsApp? Yeah, what for? Bing, 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 bing.
Oh god, you sound like someone from like another country who uses what I know that it's really popular in certain countries.
Yeah.
But I've gotten those messages before. Do you have WhatsApp or Skype? I'm like, no, I do not have those.
I use it for other managers at work. So I read it going, well, at least I know what tomorrow holds, and that's
What,
it.
you use WhatsApp?
Yeah.
That's strange.
They all do.
At first, I thought you were going to say I use it for other men. I'm like, does your partner know about this?
Oh,
Like,
hell
Jesus
no.
Christ.
Oh, hell no.
You just release your darkest secrets on the air. Jesus.
No, that's on Ko-fi.
Anyways, speaking of releasing our darkest secrets, we have to release the darkest timeline of where we rank these songs. There's only 6. We might get one out of it, but there's a few there I know it's not going to be.
I am not optimistic. I am not hopeful.
There's not a lot of room for optimism.
I am going to say 0. We're going to get 0.
Episode 100 is going to be a goose egg, is it?
I just want to be correct. So 0, if there's just 1, okay, cool. Exciting. If there's 0, well, I was right. So.
Well, let me pull up my book so I can write down your songs because it's the way I got to do this. It's just weird because I usually have a table to do this on, but I don't this time. So song number 6, let's see what happens. Cinderella Man.
Oh my god, that's painful. Madrigal.
Okay, Madrigal. Song number 5, Closer to the Heart.
I fucking hate you. Cygnus X1.
Yeah, we're fucked, aren't we?
Yep.
Song number 4, Madrigal.
Closer to the Heart.
Close to the Heart. Song number 3, Cygnus X1.
I think we got it. Number 3, Xanadu.
It literally comes down to whatever happens next. Song number 2 of Farewell to
Oh,
Kings.
thank God, yes.
Okay, we got at least one.
Yeah.
And that's I don't even know the percentage, but 1 song out of 6, that's a pretty good percentage.
Good.
So Farewell to Kings. So what's song number 1? Song number 1 is Xanadu.
Oh, it's Cinderella Man, totally. I love that song. And I did not know that Geddy wrote it, and I didn't think that I would like a Geddy-written song. So this is nice. It's nice. Good to know.
Just go back and listen to I Think I'm Going Bald and tell me for a second that you actually like that song.
I don't think I've actually heard it enough to care. But I have listened to Geddy's solo album, I think released in 2000. Not too bad.
Got that song My Favorite Headache or whatever it is?
Yeah. That is actually what the album's called.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, I think I'm Going Bald's actually written about Gene Simmons. So
I think I read that
at the very least, that's what makes me like that song. Other than that, it's pretty. Anyways, we got an album to.
If they couldn't stick it to Gene Simmons, you're like, fuck this.
Oh, they did, because Rush is fucking better than Kiss. I don't care what anyone
hell
says.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Anyone who says differently doesn't have ears.
If you like novelty disco demons over an actual legitimate, like, fucking legendary prog rock band, I mean, you need medication. Anyways, we're moving on to rating the album now, so we're gonna switch the screens once again. Swish. Well, here we are. The album rating screen one more time for season 5. Technically the 101st album to go on the thing, but episode 100 regardless. Man, we've done a lot, and Rush has kind of gone all over the place on our charts. By all over the place, I literally just mean C and A. But now we need to find out where A Farewell to Kings is going. That's the album we're doing today. Man, if this one doesn't end up in A tier, we got a problem, because it has to, because we had to break the record for most A tiers in one season.
Do 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 as she turns her back.
Cool.
La la la, don't look at my face.
I'm still looking at you because you're here. I can smell your stink, okay?
Oh God, I smell like
Anxiety.
anxiety and cat piss.
Oh,
Ugh.
what a combo.
Delicious.
Well then, usually it's like whoever chose the album, the other person has to go first. We both chose this one, technically. But I'm going to let you go first, because I had to do The Cure last week.
Okay, well, I am not embarrassed with my score. There are songs that I really, really like, and songs that I'm like, it's okay. I understand how it rounds out the album, but you know what? I probably wouldn't listen to them as standalone tracks. And because of that, I rated the album 81.33.
Oh my God, I thought you were going to go down way further than that. Are you kidding me? Because, like, I'm not embarrassed by it. You shouldn't be embarrassed that that's a fucking A tier rating.
I know, but it's not like a 96 or anything. It's like an 81. It's like if you're in an honors class and all of your classmates are going 90% plus and you get an 81.33, you're like, I'm not as good as these other people. So saying.
You said 81.33, correct?
I did.
You did. Well, I mean, thank God then we have another A tier Rush album on our hands, because I
knew it.
Ended up going straight up 85, like middle of the A tier, and that brings us to a grand total of 83.16. It's got to be up there near 2112.
Wow, 83.16. Muse's Absolution was 83.12. So it sits nicely between Muse and Mr. Bungle's California.
And where's 2112?
2112 is at number 2 with a overall rating of 85.25.
Oh, damn. My actual score was close to that as compared to that, but still, holy shit. It's an A- once again. It's like we have nothing but A-.
Right?
But whatever. You know what? We broke the record for the most A tiers in a season. Rush A tiered again with an album that you didn't choose solely because if it was Power Windows, it would probably be B tier best.
Best.
B for best or C for cast. I don't know. But you know what? I'll take it though. We wrapped up season 5 in episode 100 with an A tier. And I mean, again, it's not like we planned for that to happen, but we did plan to bring this album back eventually, and this was just the time to do it.
Last week you threatened me and said if we didn't have an A-tier album, that was it. So, like, I had a lot of pressure on this.
You could have been defiant.
Then I would have been a liar.
I guess.
What's worse, defiant or a liar or a defiant liar?
That can change on a day-to-day basis depending on the situation. I don't know.
Fair enough. Also, I couldn't walk into my house and, hey, babe, what did you rate the album? Oh, I rated it a 67. get out of my house. He doesn't even listen to Rush and he would kick me out. So you know what? I had a lot riding on this episode.
Yeah, he would just probably like laugh you out of the room. It's like, you're bullshit. You didn't do that.
You're stupid. And boo me out of my own house.
Puts on dubstep.
He listens to a lot of EDM. So yeah.
You told me that, so I was just thinking about it. Mm-hmm. Well then, we did A Tier, another album for the end of season 5. So, oh my god, at least we got that out of something. We're back on the screen, by the way. Hello, special screen again.
Nice.
Oh yeah, so we did that. That's awesome. Cool. Great way to end season 5. Great way to cap off 100 episodes. So that's pretty damn cool. And you know what? We want to know your opinion on this too. So what did you think of the album? How would you rank the songs? How would you rate the record? Do you agree or disagree with us? Let us know down in the comments of wherever you're listening, because there's comment sections everywhere. And there's also comment sections over in the social media pages as well. And so you can find that there. All the streaming links, RTR Club, requesting stuff, and just probably something else I'm not even thinking of. Over at ratetherecord.ca. I didn't say it in the beginning, so it's ratetherecord.ca. And one more time, because 3 is a good luck. Ratetherecord.ca. Good, you didn't have to say it a 4th time. You just matched me that time.
Yay.
Yeah, at this point I have like no more notes. I could literally just do this with my laptop and stare into the camera, because yeah, it's the end of the podcast. What a season it's been. Again, we broke the A tier thing. That's pretty cool. Still tons of B tiers too. How fucking depressing is that?
It's on brand. B for on brand.
B for, you know,
on brand.
I was gonna say I literally have nothing at this point, but I'm just happy that we got this score out of it, and out of a really good Rush album too. So I dig that. I mean, this flag has been behind me for every goddamn episode we've done. So if I didn't give that a high score, it would have been crazy. But I still like 2112 better.
But now we've done the album, so you can just tear it right down.
Yeah, everything that we've done. Hey, look, it's Cheese Man.
Yeah, ugh.
You can see it in person.
It doesn't look that bad in person.
I see you see it in HD now.
The gross Band-Aids are disgusting. Ugh.
See, that's the part you liked.
Yeah, but in person, I don't like
now
it.
You're going
see up his nostrils.
You're going opposite with it now. See, I'm ruining her illusion. She's here in person, just like...
Yeah, the cheese mask. It's disgusting. There's like dirty Band-Aids on this thing. Gross. Also, just editor, throw up another card for the...
I think we've run out of space. We only get 5.
This one. There you go.
I don't think the Russian Malibu Ken crowd is a big crossover brand there.
You never know.
David Bowie, 9 Inch Nails, possibly Tool, maybe over there. Not so much Health. I don't know.
Butts. All right, we're done. We're done.
Nudity.
That's it.
Well, anyways, thank you very much for watching this episode, as I said. And if you like what you see and we're here today, let us know. Like, subscribe, rate, share, comment, follow. All those things really help. So, what we've done in the past, going out of seasons and everything like that, is to give you like this vague idea of what's going next season, because we don't obviously want to spoil any of the artists or anything happening. Well, season 6, here's your spoiler. It's going to be a while. So we're going to do a bit of an announcement right now, but there's going to be a full-length video probably in the new year in January, going more in depth into what we're going to be talking about here. So we're going to do this briefly now. The podcast will be going on hiatus for a bit, and I will actually let Savannah, you don't have to say everything now, but I mean, this is more or less for you, so I will let you say a few words.
Okay, I feel very on the spot, but I feel like this was expected.
I don't want to speak on your behalf.
Fair enough. There are some things going on in my personal life that I need to address, and I need the time and space to address them. So Kris has kindly provided me with some time to do that, which means I have to stop doing the podcast for a short period of time. I don't want to give you a number because I honestly don't know when it is. But I'm looking forward to coming back for season 6, whenever that happens to be. I hope you guys still stick with us. Please stay subscribed. I swear to God, we will release another video. It won't be too long, but I really need to address these things and make for a better me and make for a better podcast for you guys.
Yeah, and a couple things on that. Yeah, like obviously it's indefinite because there is no timeline.
Yeah.
And I mean, behind the scenes, like, you know, we rip each other all the time when it comes to the podcast, but like, I've always been very supportive of you, like, taking care of yourself.
Suspiciously as much.
Suspiciously.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be positive here.
I know, but I'm always like, why is he saying it's okay? Like,
so I can profit without you.
Yeah, but yeah, you've always been pretty supportive and always said, take care of yourself, and I got to take care of myself.
Yeah, literally the mantra besides B tier is prioritize yourself.
Right? Yeah.
I will say very quickly, so the podcast is on hiatus, but I'm planning to do some things while she's gone. It's not going to be the show, but like NMRs, ILTSs I'll still do, and there's still a couple things I'm cooking up. So when that longer video explaining this comes out in January, I'll tell you more about it then. Other than that, this was just kind of a quick thing to let you know, like, if you want a season 6, you'll get one. You just gotta wait a little while.
Yeah. I
know we have a request that came in that was supposed to be for season 6, so if you made that request, it's still gonna happen. We still have it written on our list. It's just there's not a timeline of when you'll hear it, but we'll email you before it goes out. How about that?
Yes, we promise to do that at least. And my goal is to come back for season 6. I don't foresee that not happening. I just don't know when. So. Yeah.
And just to be clear, too, all the season 5 bonus stuff is still going to come out as scheduled. Savannah has agreed to, like of her own will, to agree to finish out all the season 5 stuff. So, next week we have our ranking number 1 video from all of season 5. Best of, which you have nothing to do with anyways. That's all me just putting that shit together. Best of NMRs, the ILTS videos. All through December, there's going to be stuff. And then in January, when season 6 was supposed to start, is when you'll get our full announcement video regarding this. So you can look forward to that. Still plenty of content. But other than that, there's no real hint for season 6 because I literally wiped out the schedule yesterday.
Oh, really?
So I put them all back onto a blank list with no dates because I'd have to redate everything.
Yeah.
And so maybe we could do things in a new order now.
Interesting.
Maybe we could do the band new order.
I was gonna say, let's do new order.
Listen, I'll say that I don't care. I had Joy Division on the list. Say I won't say where, but it was in season 6.
Yeah. Interesting.
All right. Well, don't mean to leave you a bit of on a bummer note like that, but we had been talking about this for at least a couple of weeks now.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you started off by saying you're quitting. Then it went to I don't want to quit and I'm up to a hiatus.
Yeah.
And then it was let's just do a hiatus.
Yeah.
So it's been getting generally more positive with each time we talk about it.
Well, like you said, the more that we talk about it, the more it's like, oh, well, we can't do this, or if you stop, we can't do that. I'm like, no, but I want to do that. I don't want to be kicked out.
Well, and I also don't want to I don't want to pressure you in anything either.
Yeah. But it's it's good. It's a positive to look forward to at the finish line. You know what I mean? So
as long as you're back before we have to do the next Pearl Jam album, that's all.
I can almost guarantee.
I'd say that's August. You get some good healing time right
then
there.
Then I can guarantee. Yes.
All right, well, we'll leave it at that. Again, full announcement coming out in January. Other than that, thank you for watching today, and hopefully you'll enjoy the bonus content coming up for Season 5 real soon. Until then, go listen to some awesome music like Rush, Farewell to Kings, wait,
and flash the camera.
Yeah, one more time for good luck. And we'll see you again sometime down the road, so take care, friends.
Bye-bye.